dumbest tripod we have, but I made it work.
Oh god.
And we're live here on the LI Sports Network. Third and final game here on the South Rinks at the Rinks in Hauppauge. My name is Kevin Broderick, joined by the lovely Ryan Brannigan as we're about to get into action between East Islip and Smithtown Hauppauge. The Bulls coming into this game 2-8-0. East Islip 5-4-1. Obviously, Smithtown Hauppauge with two different JV teams as they test the shot right away. Sasso, nice little poke check to prevent anything from closer range. Cole Kozak would have had the doorstep opportunity. Back now is Aiden Melendez, tries to spin it up the wall. It pops off the leg of one of his teammates. Flutters around to the opposite side and dumped in again. Miller will leave it below his goal line for Melendez. Taking a look at the stats for this game. Smithtown Hauppauge giving up 5.5 goals per game, scoring 2.9 as Sasso goes out of his net to hit it to Lemaire. Now Carney has a couple of options, and Zemo seemingly losing it in his feet. East Islip just giving up 2.9 goals per game while scoring 4.3 in response. Down into the corner, Benstock trying to shimmy away from a couple of checks. EI flood the puck and will force it out. Finn Howard trying to go off the wall. Kozak, and it accidentally goes on net. Miller will cover up for our first whistle of the game. 13:32 left in the first period. Kyle Carney leading his team in points right now with a total of 16. Matthew Benstock leading his team with a total of 10. Jake Hayes leads Smithtown Hauppauge with 8 goals, and Colin Inga leading with 12 goals for East Islip. Plenty of talent, offensive talent for both teams. Right now, Miller without his stick as the puck is once again twisted down low. SCHSHL couldn't come away with it. Inga flying around. He'll be forced up to the far point with Harrison. Does keep the puck in. Looking down low for Blashuk. Goes around to Inga in the right wing corner. Chip and chase for Inga. Feeds Reynolds. Shot off the wall. Will be sticked aside. Karam's off to the far boards, and SCHSHL isn't able to hold the zone, so the Bulls break it forward. And will be called offsides by just a hair. About 2:30 gone by in the first. No real opportunities for either side just yet. Both teams giving up a lot of penalties per game, about 4. Centering feed, slides into the slot. Sasso one stop. Watches the rebound go off to his right side. Puck still out. Shot rings off the bar. Follow up. Hits a man in front. East Islip battered away and now finds some control. Maybe a counterattack as well. Here's Freisum. Cuts past the blue. Leaves it back. Lemaire along wrister, and Miller will make quick work of that. Easy save for the Bulls netminder. Ozone draw for the Chiefs. Spills off. Freisum trying to hold it there. He gets run over neutral ice by Arnold. Carney couldn't carve through a crowd. Freisum sending it past the blue. James Rayo going back for it, but Carney finds it first below the goal line. Carney, fancy move out in front, stick tied up, can't get the shot off. Freisum swoops in for it, dives below the goal line, then passing it back on top. Shot with traffic, it's off the skate blade of Rayo. Freisum battling for it again. Skips free, another centering bit. Islip on the turnaround shot, they score. 5-hole and in. EI jump out to the 1-goal lead. It's their main man, Colin Inge, in front. Collected it right there and beat Miller to the spot. Taking a look at the recent games for both these teams. Smithtown Hauppauge lost their most recent contest back on November 26th. That was 4-2 to West Islip. Before that, had a nice win against Ward Melville, 12-2 the final score. Northport before that was a 5-3 loss. Connecticut Sayville was a well-fought win, 7-6. And SCHSHL before that with 3-2 losses. East Islip have to get back into their own zone in a hurry. Turned over to Melendez. Taking a look at East Islip's last 5 games. They're on a 2-game win streak right now. Win against SCHSHL, win against St. Anthony's. Long pass across the ice. Does go tape to tape. East Islip break it in. Down for Inge, collects on the backhand, centering out in front, no one there. Reynolds will swipe at the rolling puck, trying for another centering feed. Reynolds comes out of the pack with it, looking behind him. It's to Bogorowski. Into the offensive end, his shot will take an awkward hop. Bogorowski gets back to it. Centering bid denied. Inge looking middle, can't find it either. Goes all the way for a long shot off to the left end. Big bounce off the end boards. Bogorowski takes it in front, looking for the backhand tuck. It was denied by Miller. Up and around the wall for Friesen. Back down low, Bogorowski couldn't haul it in. Bowles into the zone. Sasso needs to make that save and does cover up. 8:55 left on the clock. East Islip with the 1-0 lead. Scoring that goal with 11:17 left in the first. It was Colin Inge unassisted. Pass out in front, smacked aside. Another shot. Sasso trying to find it as it spilled off below the goal. Friesen will flush it away. Has Kelly as a passing option as well. We'll just fire it, twisting around the board. SCHSHL onto the first touch. Instantly challenged, committing a turnover. Ventura couldn't let the shot fly either. Now Kelly breaks away, gets through a stick check. Kelly couldn't handle it. Spills below the goal line, almost hits SCHSHL, who was on the doorstep. Kelly gets it off Lemaire. Looking back down the wall for Kelly. Had trouble with the pass. Bulls repossess in their own zone. 8 minutes remaining in the first period. SCHSHL looks off to the middle. Swept away by the Bulls, and they have room to clear on the far side. A pass will get through the defense. This is going to be a one-on-one with Sasso at the top of the cage. Sasso makes the save, comes in front again, and they score. Bulls tie it up at 1. Back to center ice we go into a tie game. Bulls responding with the goal of their own. And PC will get the credit. While Smithtown Hauppauge play JV on the South Rings right now, their varsity team facing a tough opponent in Northport Huntington over on the North Rings. Brady Campbell will be on the call for that, joined by Paul Trentini on camera. Off the breakaway, Sasso will make one stop. A backhand pitch will go wide off to the left side of the goal. Harrison smacks it ahead and down the ice. It just went past Melendez. Kearney trying to make this competitive, but the rolling puck will beat him out. 7:10 remaining in the first. Flipped forward off the face-off win by Inga. Blaszczuk will get an interception. This could be a breakaway. Inga trying to get there in time. Couldn't find the finish. Inga turning around for his centering feed. Hits it to Kearney, and he roofs the shot. Tapped back in front, but it winds up spilling below the goal line. Kearney back to it. Turns around, physical play. Feeds it to the goal line. Another centering bid, but instead it's intercepted by Miller and shut down. Bit of excitement right there for East Islip. Just couldn't cross the tee. Luke Leroux will step in for the Ozone draw with Lemaire and Blaszczuk as his wingers. Lemaire will win it. One-timer for Harrison. Not a whole lot of weight behind it. Leroux will take it back. Trying to send it out in front. Tapped, and it looks like Miller has it. Ben Stock trying to get it out. EI finds some control in the right wing corner. Blaszczuk couldn't get it out in front. The Bulls will clear it off the far boards. Reynolds gets a touch at it, glides past one check. Reynolds pushed by Kozak, forced into a turnover. 2-on-2. As we hit the 6-minute mark, Reynolds pushes it in deep. Could find the loose puck. Tied up, twirled around the boards, and just barely poked ahead. Harrison will invert, look to flip it in front of him. Azimo has it. Tied up by the referee there, and the Bulls will be thankful for it. Whipped across the ice, Ben Stock. Can't hold on for it long. Azimo is shot, and Miller will take it into his chest for the whistle. Bulls committing a turnover at the blue line. Rolled off to Azimo. Far on the shot. Miller will challenge it despite it being well off. Friesen will hold it at the near point, but couldn't bank it in deep. Bulls break it out. They could be into a 2-on-1 as well. Onsides past the blue line just barely. And a nice challenge by Kelly will shut down the dangerous part of the play. Puck comes right back to him. He'll twist it around the boards. Bulls instantly get bodies towards it, but EI find the break. Held up slightly, and actually, no, it's not out. Now numbers for Smithtown Hauppauge, and Sasso will get it. He doesn't realize it. It's in his padding somewhere. He'll dig it out, and we'll take an Ozone draw now for the team in blue. Over 10 minutes gone by here in the first period. 1-1 the score here on the LI Sports Network. Friesen will get it. Sends a fluttering puck to the blue line, but not away. Second battle will break it free. Here comes Leroux with it. Inga across. Nice sauce pass, but Inga couldn't get it onto his tape. Sent it back out in front. Deflects over for Friesen. Loading up in the shot. Jukes around one. Friesen for a second, but can't find control. Takes a hop off the wall. Friesen still with it. Twirls it around. Looks like Smithtown Hauppauge. No, they're going to commit another turnover. It's Inga with it. Back to Friesen. Shifts around a check. Friesen dancing, trying to send it out in front. Hit it to Kelly. Given right back to him. Friesen now towards the middle. Inga on a turn shot. Flutters up into the air. Leroux couldn't find it in time. 3:50 remaining in the first period, and the Bulls will finally send it out of their zone. Kelly instantly racing for it. Icing waved off by the referees. Kelly trying to ramp it up and out. Nice pickpocket right there from Friesen. Lead pass to Inga. Inga feeds left, trying to give it back to Friesen, and the Bulls are back in transition for defense. They'll cut it across the blue line. Ventura on a shot. Sasso, a great challenge. Will force another whistle with 3:26 left in the first. Ferraro on the left, circle draw, trying to get his team some more offense in the dying minutes of this first period. The Bulls with the most recent goal of the game, scored by Campisi. No power plays just yet. SCHSHL cutting into the middle. Pulling up at the goal line, trying to find Blaszczuk out in front. A wobbling puck just escapes his grasp. Up to the blue line, but not out. Harrison on a long wrister save made by Miller. Rebound spills in front of him. Backhand shot. Miller closed the 5-hole in time. Dangerous right there as the Bulls failed to clear on their first opportunity. Harrison back into his own zone. Ferraro quickly to challenge. Stick handles it in front, leaves it for Melendez. His shot hits traffic, comes out in front. Sasso not making a save because it wasn't required. Might have been over in time, but that was definitely a 5-star opportunity for the Bulls. Friesen playing bumper cars, lets it go to Harrison, has Bogorowski as the outlet pass. He'll tap it ahead and just barely clears past Melendez. Rimming all the way down the ice, and the referees will enforce an icing with 2:21 remaining in the first frame. Carney. Little help gets it to the near side of the rink. Friesen to enter the zone. Good little strip right there from Rayo. Turned right back over to Harrison, who skated into his own end. Dangerous pass, but will just barely break it free, and almost Friesen poking himself into a breakaway. $1:45 remaining in the first period. Carney couldn't get to that stretching pass. Rayo will hold it. Back over to Harrison. He's had a couple of touches on the puck in this shift. Harrison with another one right here. Turns around to check. Batting it off the wall. Lemaire can't get it past Rayo again. So Harrison will do it all himself. Slow breakaway for East Islip as they're at the end of a shift right now. Not a lot of gas left in the legs. Some fresh coming out onto the ice with Kelly. Goes back to Rayo now in the left wing corner. Pitches it around the boards, but not past Kelly. Back pass to the point. Banked in low, and Rayo will take it. Trying the same thing. A little bit more success this time as the Bulls will tie up. Spills all the way into the right wing corner with 1 minute left in the first period. Finally, Smithtown Hauppauge will skate it out the old-fashioned way. Gain the blue line. Pressure into the slot. Sasso tested. Close the 5-hole in time. Still with the Bulls, though. Down below the goal. Kelly the first one to it. Around for Lemaire. but it's held in at the far point. East Islip with 2 there to challenge. They could be into a breakaway. It's 3-on-1 right now. Lemaire swipes it across, but called offsides with 30 seconds remaining. EI win it off the draw. High arcing pass will tap down into the zone. Now with 20 seconds left in the first, East Islip looking to reestablish a lead. Twirling puck, tipped around a couple of sticks, but held ultimately by Kelly. Looks in front for Leroux. He has an onward passing option, but Miller cut it off in time. Melendez just trying to deaden the last 5 seconds. Islip get it back, look for Reynolds. Reynolds with a second left, couldn't find it in time. Clock hits 000 here on the LI Sports Network. We'll be right back for the start of the second. And we're back here on the LI Sports Network. 1-1 the score after 1 between East Islip and Smithtown Hauppauge. We'll go back to center ice for the ensuing draw. 1 back for Friesum. Campisi and Ingo with the goals so far. Pass looking to go to Ingo was intercepted by Melendez and will send East Islip packing from the zone. Bowles trying to create a rush out of nowhere. They got numbers in deep and Sasso blocks it off. Chiefs playing a dangerous game right now. They will work it into the offensive end. Inga cutting middle, couldn't nutmeg the final defender. Will settle for Friesum right in front of him. Looks across the ice for his brother. And he'll play it down low. Leroux the first on the forecheck, trying to tie it up in the skates. Minute gone by here in the second period. Last goal we saw was at 7:39 in the first, as we'll pause exactly 1 minute into the second. Miller and Sasso have been fantastic so far in their respective nets. Ferraro on the draw, gets it into the wheelhouse of Sasso, who will cover up for another whistle. 12:56, so 4 seconds ticking by on that one. Ferraro will do it again from the same position. Rayo lining up in the one-timer just in case, but the face-off once again goes to the goal line. EI look for an exit strategy off the near point, and it's a good little sweep right there from Harrison to force it free. Leaves it behind him. Harrison now racing into it. Gets it below the goal line, cuts it off. Carney has Kelly at the near point. Harrison to Carney again in front. The shot deflects off Rayo, goes behind. Carney jousting, won it, but then Rayo challenged him. Twirled around the boards. Kelly can get here first, has Harrison behind him. He'll skim it off to the opposite end. Lemaire will hold it at the far point. Pass down low, deflects off a stick, goes to Rayo. Right back out for Lemaire. Carney couldn't hold it, and Rayo overskated it now. So it's back for Carney, trying to nutmeg, and nothing doing right there. East Islip, blind pass, almost goes to Harrison. Now he'll find it. Dicing away and getting it to Carney on a long reach. Somehow got that shot off. Unfortunately for him, there was too much in front. Carney, another good step, firing it across the high slot and out of the zone accidentally. Lemaire with a nice crunch into the boards. Harrison will pull the string around one player. A fluttering puck will work around for East Islip. Back into the offensive end, looking for Carney in the slot. As we have a couple of hits behind the play. Smithtown Hauppauge won a penalty, but they're not going to get it. Tape to tape into the offensive end. Carney, the second man. Carney a shot, big rebound off the pads. No one else was there for it. So it's back the other way now with Jarrett. Jarrett on a shot. Sasso easy save. Rebounds will almost be put back in front. East Islip with 5 defenders in the zone. A little bit safer here. Smithtown Hauppauge, their only goal of the game coming off a rush. Here's Reynolds, solo mission. Reynolds missed wide. SCHSHL trying to dig it out of some skates. It's up for Ventura. A lead pass out of the zone. It's Jarrett against Reynolds, and he'll eke it past the blue line. Reynolds still with it through a lot of contact. Reynolds still going, but didn't have someone in the spot he wanted. SCHSHL was a couple of glides ahead of where the puck ended up going, and they'll go offsides to get a whistle here with 10:56 left in the middle frame. Good momentum for Friesen before he got bottled up by Rayo. They exchanged some words after the little battle on the boards. Friesen, good twist, still with it. Walks at his own blue line before ramping it up. Lands down in the left wing corner. Blaszczuk, the first forechecker. It's rimmed up the boards. Friesen can't hold it, but guess who can? East Islip, wrap it back around. Goes for SCHSHL, looks off to the middle, stepped in front of by the Bulls, and they'll break it out of the zone, maybe into a 3-on-2, but Sasso out of his net will shut down the opportunity. Looking ahead to Friesen. Smithtown Hauppauge were off sides there, needing to reset. Breakaway out of nowhere before it was just lifted away from Friesen. Brian Odom found himself a cheeky goal. This is Melendez at the goal line, wristing it ahead. Should go all the way down for an icing. Sasso knows it just as well as everyone else. Under 10 minutes to play here in the second period. Blaszczuk stepping into the dot. Leroux gives it back to Kelly. Whipped across. It's Leroux again for a shot. Goes off to the right side. Rebound almost put into the blue paint. Inga over to the corner. He was looking for Blaszczuk. Pops off to the left side. Smithtown Hauppauge trying to force it ahead. It goes to Kelly. Long shot. Miller stepped in front for the initial save, and the rebound caromed over to the corner once more. Now Smithtown Hauppauge get it away. Kozak with a man, he'll just elect to pitch it in. Sasso taps it with his paddle as another minute ticking by here in the second period. 1-1 still the score between Smithtown Hauppauge and East Islip. Both goals coming in the first frame as well, one at 11:17 by Colin Inga. And then the Bulls responded with Charles Campisi scoring at 7:39. Leroux. Tap pass on the backhand, goes to Blaszczuk. Little bit of room afforded to him. Blaszczuk inverting back up top, curls off to the goal line. Blaszczuk centering feed. Inga couldn't handle it. It's all for Leroux, who fanned on his pass but juked around one. Leroux in front, and Inga couldn't bat it away. Inga still with it. Tons of space, sharp angle. Miller makes a save and dives on top. We got another pause with 8:28 remaining in the second period. My name's Kevin Broderick, joined by the illustrious Ryan Brannigan, looking dashing as always. 8:28 is what EI have to work with into this O-Zone draw. Brady Campbell and Paul Trentini are on the rink behind us for a varsity matchup between Smithtown Hauppauge and Northport Huntington. Last time we saw that game, it went all the way to overtime. And those are two of the top teams in the varsity division as well. Carney below the net, fiddling at it with his skates, eventually pops it off for his stick. Carney with a good little move, sending it to the high slot. Tapped in front for deflection. Harrison trying to get it off to Carney. Pops for Friesen. Carney will take it back. Another centering feed goes to Harrison. Harrison one-on-one. They score! EI back on top, 2-1. Back to center ice with about half of this game gone by. East Islip with their second lead of the game. Robert Harrison getting the credit. So now it's Harrison and Inga to pot goals for East Islip today. Smithtown Hauppauge, good to respond with a little bit of offense right here, but Harrison, oh, that was dangerous. He could have been down the sheet with numbers, rung off the crossbar. That close for Smithtown Hauppauge to tie it up. Now Harrison trying to get it the hell away from his net. Harrison getting tied up. Still no penalties in this game. Carney trying to do some magic right there, but there were too many bodies in front of him. This is going to be a breakaway for East Islip. Lead pass, Jarrett, shot, whistles wide to the left. Held in at the far point for Smithtown Hauppauge. Bounces in front, another opportunity. Sasso fought it off, the rebound spills off to the right side. East Islip just trying to get it away. Under 7 minutes to play in the second period, and the Bulls are looking good on this shift, and finally Sasso will find some relief, getting his glove on top of the puck. Bulls trying to continue their momentum in the offensive end. They get a draw, goes up way into the scaffolding. So we'll do it again from the offensive end. Kind of a low rink here at the low ceiling here at the rinks, especially with the scaffolding going across. Pretty easy to hit. Lights are a little bit lower than that. All of it equates to not as much room potentially as you might want as a player to airmail it out of your zone. Sursic steps in front of a breakout pass, but the Bulls take it back. Turn it over to Friesen this time. He goes D to D, gets the return feed, finds a little bit of weak ice here on the left side. Friesen turning around in the circle and looking back to the high slot. No one's there for him. Lemaire collects on his backhand, skating backwards into his zone with 6 minutes left in the second period. East Islip with a goal from Harrison regained the lead just a couple minutes ago. Frysum, sharp angle. Miller makes a stop. Big rebound. Almost came in front for a tap-in goal. Instead, Miller gets post-to-post in time for the save and will take another whistle. Both teams will make a couple of changes. Actually, no, East Islip will leave their full 5, but Smithtown Hauppauge will get a new 5. Blaszczuk stepping in for the right circle draw. Takes it back. They'll hit Lemaire at the far point, whips it across onto the near side. Frysum with room, save made by Miller. Somehow locked that up in his blocker. Blaszczuk forces the puck to be rimmed around. Lemaire, a big one-timer. That took a couple of pinballs before it deflected off to the left side of the net. 5:12 left in the period. Smithtown Hauppauge are offsides, have to send all of their bodies back into the neutral zone. Tons of time and space afforded to East Islip because of it. Pass across the ice now, sauce onto LaRose tape. Good work from Melendez to break up the momentum. Put back down low. Inga sends it in front. What a save from Miller. Getting over in time, an absolute robbery. Another pass for Inga, couldn't tap it in. Inga, third centering feed, goes through, and now the Bulls find it. Overskated though. Blaszczuk back onto it, looking across for Inga. A little bit behind his target. Goes to the blue line with Frysum along wrister. Now it's Blaszczuk with it. Blaszczuk to the middle, backhand shot blocked. Pops for Inga. He'll collect at the goal line. Looking in front. Blaszczuk, wrister, save made. Rebound, goes to Inga. They score! EI up by 2 now. Great sequence for their offense. That goal for number 45, Colin Inga, his second of the game, assisted by Blaszczuk and Luke LaRoe. Obviously, the 2 LaRoe brothers play on this team, Andrew and Luke. Also 2 Lemaires for East Islip. Justin Lemaire, joined by his brother. Official update on the score from Ryan Brannigan. 2-2 on the North Rinks between Smithtown Hauppauge and Northport Huntington. Actually 3-2. Northport Huntington taking the lead there, trying to upset the 10-1 Bulls. In all fairness, wouldn't be that much of an upset as Northport Huntington have been playing very well. Have to hold that thought with Blaszczuk almost getting it off to Inga, tied up at the skates of Rayo. Goes to Inga, almost completed his hat trick, but Miller was able to shut him down. It was a power play goal to put Northport Huntington ahead. Sereno assisted by Jackson. The penalty went against John Avlanitis. 2 minutes for tripping. So breakaway goes to the other side, and Sasso will make a save, deflecting the puck high into the air, eventually settling onto Blaszczuk's stick. Blaszczuk left the shot behind him, twirls it around the boards. LaRoe will chase after it. Backed up by Colin Inga, tied up by Rayo, gets it off to LaRoe. LaRoe out in front for Blaszczuk. He scores! EI exploding here in the second period. 4-1 Chiefs. So just as East Islip score, Northport Huntington potted one of their own. So JT Caruso, excuse me, making it 4-2 now for Northport Huntington. Smithtown Hauppauge getting beat on 2 rinks at the same time. Puck dipped in as the Bulls try to create some offense. Out for Harrison, trying to twist around a defender. Harrison separated from the puck, almost went right back to him. Carney leaves it off. Friesen pinching into the play. Down to the goal line, leaves it. Harrison tied up and couldn't get the shot off. $1:50 left in the period. Friesen leaving it behind for Carney. Brought in by Friesen, slides it across, one-timer, they score! EI, how do you do? Make it 5-1. Ryan Brannigan's feedback, what a pass, I agree. Harrison, about as easy as a goal as you're gonna get. 1:31 left in the second. Right off the draw, East Islip break it into the offensive end. Friesen dicing it up now, holding it, looking back to the blue line. Sends his pass for a quick shot, and Miller finds it into his glove. Hard pass off the wall and now out for Smithtown Hauppauge. Should go down for an icing as Reynolds is back first. Whistle will hit as the clock goes to 1 minute exactly. Harrison got the party started in the second period for East Islip, continued by Inga. Blaszczuk made it a rager and Harrison topped it off with a goal at 1:31. Harrison assisted on that goal by Friesen and Carney. As the puck comes out again. Almost made it 5 in a row. Lemaire, trouble at the far point, now assisted by his teammates. SCHSHL was the one to scoop it away. Slides it off for Kelly. Kelly looking backdoor for Blaszczuk, was a few inches off. Lemaire, a long wrister, pops down in front of the net. East Islip look up top with Kelly. Plenty of room for a shot, and Miller was sliding over for the save. "20 seconds left in the second period. East Islip maybe have one more trick up their sleeve, as Kelly will dance on to the loose puck. Under 10 seconds to play in the second period. And it looks like we'll head out of this one with a 5-1 score in favor of East Islip as we hit triple zeros for a second time. Be right back for the third period here on the LI Sports Network. EI with numbers towards the net. Almost bested Miller for a 6th time today. Bulls looking for a counterpunch as they've let up 4 unanswered goals. Shutout in the second period. 42 minutes racing off the clock here in the third. Brought ahead as Friesum extends his stick, pokes it off for Carney with Inga. Carney couldn't wrap it past. Centering feed from Arnold will go through and through. Friesum with a stick lift, allowing Carney to take it away. Now East Islip have numbers. It's Carney. Ferraro did get back on the back check, but it pops up. Harrison, nice move. Harrison trying to undress the entire defense, but was shut down by Miller. Friesum, good stick battle. Brings it out in front. Friesum separated from the puck, never let the backhander fly. Harrison will hold the line. Harrison with a couple of passing options, but closed on quickly. Gets it off for Friesum. Rister, Miller a save. Tapped up to the blue line, just spilling past. Bulls might have some numbers behind this rush as well. Ferraro in by himself. Ferraro on the forehand. I think it was either Sasso had to make a save there. That came out of nowhere. Puck in deep again for Kelly. Couldn't get it past Rayo, and now it's Rayo against Harrison. Looks like we had a little bit of equipment fall out onto the ice as well, as it was Harrison's mouthpieces. Him and Rayo continuing to exchange some shoves over on the opposite side of the play. In the meantime, Kelly will break the puck out of the pack, rim it back around for Harrison. This time chips it past Rayo. Harrison fumbling the puck though. Could have been dangerous as EI would have had 3-on-2 towards the net. Back with Carney. Dangerously going in front of his own cage, wrapping around for a second lap. Carney beating both of them with speed, now stepping up. Rayo will knock him off the puck. Good defensive play. About 5 minutes already gone by here in the third period, going a little bit too quickly if you are a Bulls fan. Blaszczuk, good reach there. Does get it out of the zone before he spills down to the ice. Melendez head up looking for a good passing option. Makes the safe short one. Now the Bulls are past the blue line with potential numbers crashing towards net. A shot. Save made Sasso. Not a huge rebound given away. Ferraro will pass it over to his defenseman. Under 10 minutes in regulation left. Shot snapped above the crossbar. I think Sasso might have clipped it. Bulls take it back to the slot. Sasso not beat down low. And the rebound swept away by his defenseman. This is Friesum. Can't wiggle past that check. Ferraro stripped him of the puck. Ferraro now for another shot. Sasso save. Rebound. Sasso a second. Trying to get his defense to get the clear. Puck still popping around. Sticks tie up. Comes back to Ventura. Turnaround for the shot. Now Ferraro puts it wide. SCHSHL can finally get the zone freed. Smithtown Hauppauge at the bare minimum needs a reset as another minute has ticked by. This third period is absolutely flying. Sent around, SCHSHL taps it Friesen on the second wave will flush the zone. Friesen chipping and chasing for himself. SCHSHL trying to hold it now. Taps it off towards the middle on the backhand. Puts it towards the net, but wide to the right side. Nice battle. SCHSHL looked off towards the middle. Couldn't thread the needle on the feed, though. Comes all the way back for Lemaire in his defensive end. Long pass for Blaszczuk. This should go down for an icing, but no, tip someone along the way as the referees did wave it off. Ventura had it pried away, and finally Miller will give us a whistle with 8:03 remaining in the third. Half of this third period gone. Reynolds dices past the blue, but called off by a hair. As Ryan Brannigan attempts to warm up his fingers. Hard to do. Inga traveling around. Blaszczuk into the high slot. A wrister onto Miller. Collects it in front of him. Reynolds up high, shot on net, and Miller will once again put his mitten on top. Lemaire walks at the blue line. Arista will go right into the shin pad of Ferraro and well out of the zone. Lemaire back for it, trying to settle it down. Gives it off for Friesen, taken away by the Bulls. Ferraro wraps looking for a feed, but the shot was slightly fanned on. Ferraro threw a couple of checks, now separated by Carney. Couldn't get it off for Lemaire, so it's back into the pile. 5 players there. Slides out of the pack in favor of Jarrett. He travels up the wall. Met by Harrison, passing it to the far point. A shot blocked in front. 6:25 remaining in the third period. 5-1 the score as East Islip easily control this game. Majority of that work done in the second period where they scored 4 unanswered. 2 of them from Harrison himself. Bulls have definitely looked stronger here in the third. Now maybe with one good rush, but a poke check expertly shuts it down for Lemaire. Taken away by Harrison. He's on hat trick watch. Here comes Harrison dragging in front to the backhand. Just elevates it a little too high. Still in the offensive end as Carney will hold the zone. Fiddles it down the wall on the backhand. Tap back towards him. Friesen extending fully to keep it in. Tough play. Here comes Carney down Main Street, walks past 2, and then finally jostled free, and the Bulls can break it with numbers. 3-on-1 going towards the net, called offsides. Kelly, worked pass by Ventura. At the far boards, he'll tap it around. Friesen flutters it. .455 remaining in the third period. Friesen at the halfway line, splits two expertly and beats a third before it's lifted off of his stick. Almost a highlight reel right there for Matthew Friesen. Long shot. As we're under 5 to play here in regulation. EI more than happy to kill off this remainder in low event hockey, but Matthew Friesen maybe not. Tips it into the middle, playing with him. Friesen a shot, rebound, and it's covered up by Miller. O-zone draw. Blaszczuk will go after it. Blaszczuk looking for Friesen. Friesen still hard on it. Taps it up the boards. Here's Kelly. Couple shoulder fakes. Twirls it to the near side. Blaszczuk for it. Right circle. Shot. Big rebound off the pads. Goes all the way to the high slot. Matthew Friesen gets there in time. Sends another backhand towards the left circle, but wasn't held for long by Inga. Gets a second opportunity at it. Slides it off for Blaszczuk. Pulls up for the shot, and Miller makes a save. Goal scorers for today. 2 for Inga, 2 for Harrison, 1 for Blaszczuk for East Islip, and Campisi the lone goal scorer for Smithtown Hauppauge. A game that has not seen a single penalty. Blaszczuk will collect that rebound. Twirls it off for Inga, looking back to Blaszczuk, but goes under his tape by just a narrow margin. Reynolds looking for a fancy pass. It does go over to Blaszczuk. Turns back towards his own zone and gives it to Reynolds. With speed off to the far side. Slid ahead for Inga. He'll just race to the goal line. Interrupted slightly, but still has his puck. Inga. Strong move. Up for Friesen. Works it back down the wall. Centering feed. Whistles all the way across the crease. Held in by Reynolds as the puck will flutter to the blue line. Racing there was Inga to hold the zone. 4 bodies now all piling up at the far point. It's held in by Leroux. Leroux still with it. Worked off his stick. Good play by the Bulls with 2:30 left. Couple of men behind. Friesen, the only one back. Trying to deflect it off to the perimeter. Pass out in front, and Sasso never needed to make a stop. The puck went wide off to the left instantly. Trailer is Rayo. Looks for a long shot. It goes off to the right. .155 left now. Reynolds with room. Blasts it up for Inga, who tips it around Rayo. Inga will collect it past Rayo as well, getting down low. Inga for the hat trick, robbed by Miller. Rebound, Blaszczuk couldn't get it in. 1:35 remaining in the third period. Bulls into another 3-on-1. Blaszczuk back in time to make it a 3-on-2, and the shot went high. Blaszczuk, good fake. Blaszczuk all alone, down low, and Miller makes another save. Back the other way. EI need numbers. Only one back is Lemaire, now joined by Leroux. Bulls looking for the shot, they score. Friesen wiggles it forward with down to a minute to play in the third period. Around for Azimo. Looking for a tap pass to Kelly. Fancy on his first touch, but was tied up into the corner. Swipes it towards the slot. In front, they score! Response for Bogorowski. 6-2. Friesen, just to try to kill off the remainder of the 40 seconds. 2 goals exploding in the last couple. Maybe one more. Miller making a save, and the puck will go out past the high slot. "15 seconds left on the clock, and East Islip will improve to 6-4-1 on the season. Smithtown Hauppauge dropping down at 2-9 as they'll get called offsides here. Take one more face-off from the neutral zone here on the LI Sports Network. 3 games up and down here on the South Rinks. Last game left will be the one behind us over on the North Rinks. Go and join that stream. Brady Campbell on the call. It's 5-4 right now in favor of North toward Huntington, but we'll leave it at that. Final score, East Islip 6, Smithtown Hauppauge 2. Not yet.